Om Sadashivasamaramбхаं Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Okay, any questions, clarifications on what we have done up to now? I think 10th, 12th verse we have done. Yeah. Matta Parapataram Nasti, the 7th verse. Up to here, any questions, clarifications, or simple? Okay. Remember, many of these chapters will be highlighting Ishvara and Ishvara from various dimensions and aspects. Why it becomes important is because for two things. One, to get our mind ready, we need Karma Yoga Buddhi. And Karma Yoga doesn't come without Ishvara. There is no secular Karma Yoga. Secular Karma Yoga becomes stress management, nothing more than that. Okay. Karma Yoga means Ishvara is there. Karma Yoga means desires are there. If you don't have desires, if you don't want anything out of life, then you don't need Karma Yoga. You are ready for moksha straight, sannyasa. But because I am not ready, I need Karma Yoga. And as I said, understanding Ishvara is necessary for Karma Yoga. The more I understand Ishvara, the more I recognize that everything is Ishvara, the better Karma Yogi I become. That is one part of it. The other part of it is also to understand that Ishvara is everything. So that when I understand the truth of Ishvara and myself as nothing but pure consciousness, it's for me to take that step that this consciousness is everything is easier. Because to say I am awareness, any thinking man can come to that conclusion. But the next step, that this consciousness is everything, what we call as Sarvatma Bhava, for that to come, we need the understanding of Ishvara. So Ishvara becomes very, very important in the unfolding of Vedanta. There is no Vedanta without Ishvara, actually speaking. Some modern academics try to dissociate Ishvara from Vedanta. It doesn't work. Yeah. Like how they try to dissociate yoga from the dharmic roots. That also doesn't work. Then it becomes just a system of exercise for body and mind. The spiritual dimension doesn't open up in yoga without the other aspects of it. The same way here. If you take out Ishvara, there is no Vedanta left. Okay, with that, let us go ahead. Now, in the next few verses, he's talking about whatever is unique in everything, understand that to be me, Ishvara. Remember, whenever Krishna is using the word I, me, etc., it is from the standpoint of Ishvara. Whether you want to accept Krishna as Bhagavan or not is your choice. But in the Gita, in the Mahabharata, Vyasa presents Krishna as Ishvara. Because the whole Mahabharata is Vyasa's creation. He is reporting, recording facts. Yeah. So, there it's always from Ishvara's standpoint he presents. So, whenever Krishna uses the word I, etc., understand standpoint is Ishvara. Okay. Alright, then let us see what he says. Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi sashi suryayo pranavah sarva vedeshu shabdakhe purusham narshu. First verse of it. Okay. Rasoham apsu. In the water, what will I recognize Ishvara as? Rasaha. Now, what is rasaha? That which is responsible for your taste. Without water, there is no taste. If you did not have saliva, let us say you are not drunk enough water, you are partially dehydrated. Try to taste something. You will find I can't get the full taste because it's not enough. So it is that what is responsible for taste that water. In that the rasa itself is me, he says. I am the rasa. So you can invoke Ishvara as a rasa or recognize that all tasting etc. is possible. Simple thing, basic, fundamental, is possible only because Ishvara's presence is there. Remember, Ishvara has manifested as the whole universe. Therefore, rasoham asmi kaunteya. Prabha asmi sasishurya yoho. In the sun and the nightly, what you see, the stars that you use in the night, I am the light in all of them, he says. We were not sun worshippers. Surya Namaskara is not sun worship. It's worshipping Ishvara using sun as a symbol, as an alambanam. Okay. Like how you use a murti, you're using the sun as a murti there. Therefore, Prabha Asmi. I am the light of the sun and the moon and the stars, he says. Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. In the Veda, if there is one thing you must understand, that is what? Pranavaha Omkara. Pranava is a name for Omkara. Why Om? Om is supposed to be the greatest mantra. In fact, Om is not supposed to be written down. You are not supposed to make a drawing, an artistic drawing of Om and keep it. Om is a pratika, a sound symbol. It is not a pratima. A pratima is a murti, what you call as idol sometimes. It's not idol, is not the correct term. Murti, a form. So there are forms, Rama, Krishna, etc. All those forms you will get, Shiva, Linga. So you will get forms which are human or which are purely geometric. If you see, look at murtis as Rama, Krishna, etc., they are human forms. If you look at the Linga, Sri Yantra, etc., these are geometrical forms. Each has its purpose, which I will go into some other time. Okay. I am not talking about pujas now. When I talk about that, I will go into it sometime. Then there are natural forms like this that you can invoke. So what is Omkara? Omkara is a single syllable which stands for Ishvara. Some of you have heard this from me before. If Ishvara is everything, what name can you give Ishvara? If you give him one name, you are excluding the others. Remember, words limit. If I don't say anything, my mind is full of infinite possibilities. The moment I say a word, pen, I negated all the human beings, all life forms, animals, plant life. What all have I negated? And narrowed it down to pen. The whole class of pens. So, similarly, if I use one word for Ishvara, I will be excluding so many things. And Ishvara is everything. And can you, to say Ishvara, I'm going to repeat everything that is there in the universe? You don't know of the things. So many things we don't even know. Suddenly you'll find a news item. New species discovered. What do you mean new species discovered? It's already there. Species are dropping off, getting extinct. New ones are not coming up. Means it is always there, you never saw it before. So, you don't know everything that is there. And Ishvara is the past, present, future. So when you talk about Ishvara, are you going to talk about the dinosaurs also? Because all that is manifestation of Ishvara anyway. All the different galaxies. So what name are you going to use? As a human being. Okay. What name are you going to use? So it's a very intelligent creation. All names are nothing but sounds. What is a name? A name is nothing but a sound. If you understand the meaning, it has become a meaningful sound. If you don't understand the meaning, it is meaningless for you. Like this monk was sitting on the field on a grassy this thing, a nice, beautiful thing, and saying Om, Om, Om. And two cows are standing close by and watching this guy. Saying, what an idiot. He's got it backwards. It should be moo, moo, moo. If you don't understand the meaning, it's a meaningless sound. What else is there? So you needs to understand the meaning of it. Alright. So all sounds are from the gullet to the lips. All sounds are made only from here. Normal human beings. Okay. Alright. So all names are nothing but sounds. All sounds are from here to here. An alphabet is only a representation of a sound. Okay, a visual representation of a sound. So now they said, alright, let's create a name that will include all sounds. Starting here. What will be the basic sound? Just open your mouth and make a sound from the gullet. And at the lips. Close your mouth and say, make a sound. And they chose one representative for everything in between. Oo. They could have chosen anything. They chose oo. So oo. Say it fast, you will get it om. It is a phonetic name, a phonetic collation of the word, of the sounds. Phonetically, they are coming together. Om, 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 om. They'll become om. So please don't say aum for om, okay? It's om. I've seen some people chanting like that also. Aum. What are you trying to imitate a dog? Yawning away or what? It's om. So now look at it. All sounds are represented by om. So all of Ishvara is represented by om. So the whole manifestation is represented by Omkara. What about the consciousness behind the manifestation? The silence from where the chant comes, the silence into which the chant resolves. Before you chant Om, there is a pause, there is a silence. After the word Om, there is a silence. In silence, the chant is born. In silence, it drops down. Out of consciousness, the whole world is manifest. Into consciousness, it resolves. Both included in what? Omkaraha. There can't be a better word for Ishvara. In fact, it is not even a Sanskrit word. Really, if you look at it, it's not a Sanskrit word. It is not made together by the rules of Sanskrit grammar. It is a sound coalescing together on the basis of phonetics. It's a phonetic symbol. If people understand it, the whole world can use it. Whole world can use it. But because it's associated with Hindu, and yeah, we proudly claim it because it's from the Veda anyway. We'll proudly claim it. Therefore, some religions find it difficult to accept it. You will find this in yoga classes. Some people refuse to chant Om. Their choice. If they don't want to do, don't do. It's okay. We don't have an issue with that. Therefore, in the Veda, recognize me as Omkara, he says. Because Ishvara pervades the whole Veda. The whole Veda is talking about Ishvara only. In the first section, Ishvara is a manifestation with respect to rituals, this, that, etc. as Devatas. In the Upanishadic section, the truth of Ishvara as pure consciousness. So the whole Upanishads are talking about Omkara only, he says. Ishvara only. Omkara means Ishvara now. Now in your mind, let Om and Ishvara become one. Okay? This is important. Om means Ishvara, Ishvara means Om. So when you hear the word Om, what should be in your mind? Ishvara, Bhagavan, not Om. Now you see the necessity of not making it a physical symbol. Because when you say Om, now you are thinking of that funny oo and structure. No. Om Ishvara. Yeah. Om means Ishvara. You put it all over. Yeah. Yeah. One of Swamiji's devotees, rich woman. So she knew I was organizing Swamiji's talks all along. So she came and gave me an Om pendant made of gold. I said, Amma, thank you, but I'm not going to wear this, okay? If you want to take it back, you can take it back. No, I want you to have it. I said, okay, it's kept somewhere. I don't know where, it's kept somewhere. Yeah. Because I'm not going to reduce Omkara into a form. It represents all forms and the formless, the consciousness. Therefore, know me as Omkara in the Veda, he said, as Ishvara in the Veda. And in Akasha, recognize me as the sound. But Swamiji, Krishna did not know science. Sound travels through a medium. No? Out in the empty space, there is no medium for sound to travel. No. Krishna is talking about sound as a vibration. There is a low grade vibration, nu equal to 1.33, nu, something like that, right across the whole universe. Into the emptiness of space also you will find this vibrationary energy vibration. Therefore, in Akasha, I am that, he says. He could have said, I am Akasha itself. But no, I am the vibration in the Akasha. Akasha is a live thing, not just inert absence. Okay. And Purushaha Nrayeshu. Paurusham tu Nrayeshu. Paurusham. Paurusham is that ability to get things done. In human beings, and the ability to get things done. Paurusham also means courage, bravery, etc. Like there is a famous verse attributed to Karna in Karnabharanam. Suto va Suta putro va. I may be a charioteer or the son of a charioteer. Yova kova bhavamyaham, whoever I may be. Deva yattam tu kule janma. To be born in a great family, etc., is in the hands of the Lord. Madayattam tu paurusham. To be a capable human being, a great warrior, etc., that's in my hands. Madayattam tu paurusham. Because God has given me everything. I only have to use it and get it. So paurusham is supposed to be in human beings. So, that capacity to get things done, etc., courage, etc., because to get things done, all this is necessary. Kushalata, etc., all that we saw in the second chapter. That is, in human beings, that is me, he says. Don't say it is yours. It's really me manifesting in your mind. So your paurusham is also me manifesting in a human being. So that is also Bhagavan, okay? Not only Kule Janma, your paurusham also is Bhagavan. That's why there is a natural respect for anyone who is capable, isn't it? Where does that respect come? Hey, the guy can get things done here. There's something glorious about it. That glory belongs to the Lord, not to me. Yeah. Then he continues that. Punyagandho prithiviyam cha tejasasmi vibhavasau jivanam sarvabhuteshu tapaschasmi tapasvishu. Punyagandha prithiviyam cha. There's a word for it, pretichor or something. The smell of the earth. After a dry spell, when it rains, what happens? You get the nice smell. That Gandha is the quality of Prithvi. In fact, your food, Half your taste belongs to the smell. A lot of South Indians here. Nice cup of coffee. If you didn't get in the smell of it, will the coffee taste so nice? Yeah. The taste, half the taste is the smell. Prithivyam Gandha. Ishvara. Therefore recognize Ishvara. Next time you have a cup of coffee and you get the nice, oh wow. Either it is South Indian filter coffee. No, I am more modern than. Okay, Davidoff instant. Davidoff is a great brand, okay. Somebody, how do you know all this? Someone came and gave me a bottle of instant coffee. How do I know otherwise? I am not a connoisseur of coffee or wines or anything of that sort. So when you get that smell, recognize, Ishvara. Now what does it do? Yeah, nothing comes close to filter coffee. True. So now what is happening here? You see a person functioning with a very capable manner. You are thinking of Ishvara. You are getting the smell of the earth in the rain. Ishvara. You are drinking a cup of coffee. Ishvara. Ishvara is not out of sight, out of mind, because everything is Ishvara. Can you see what he is attempting here? Remember, these are all Vyasa's elaboration. Arjuna didn't need all this. This is for you and me. Ishvara can never be out of sight, out of mind, because everything is Ishvara. So you are a person who will say, Arey, without morning cup of coffee, my hands and legs will not work. Okay. So your Agnihotram is your morning cup of coffee. Okay. Good, no problem. Have that cup of coffee. And the moment you get the smell and you awaken, Ishvara. Okay. You're starting with thought of Ishvara only. Yeah. See someone who has achieved greatness. Ishvara. Yeah. Remember, any greatness is Ishvara's grace. Ishvara is manifesting. Otherwise, you and I would have been equally great. No? Yeah. The Industries Association of Bombay, let us say there is something like that. The small character who is making some wire is also part of that. Ambani is also part of that. Huge difference, huge manifestation differences. But India is the only country where we look down upon our industrialists. Unfortunate. Okay. Yeah. You may not agree with certain things they are doing, that's a different thing. Yeah. Punya Gandham Prithivyam Che Tejasam Ke. Tejasam api vibhavasau. In the fire, etc. The brilliance in the fire, the heat and the brilliance in the fire, me manifesting there, he says. So even before you had your coffee, you are lighting the gas to heat your milk. The brilliance there, Ishvara. Can you see? Never out of sight. Everything Ishvara has. That you recognize Ishvara in everything. Flame, you are lighting gas, you lit it. But that is manifestation of Ishvara. Yeah, right there. Jivanam sarva bhuteshu. Life in every being. Yeah, the life in every human being, Ishvara's manifestation through the mind, etc. Jivanam sarva bhuteshu. So don't crib about the crowds, okay? Sarva Ishvara. Very necessary in India. Especially when you get into a Kasara fast at Kurla station or a Virar fast at Dadar. Jivanam sarva bhuteshu. A little bit of jostling is involved. Jivanam sarva bhuteshu. Tapaschasmi tapasvishu. Who is a great tapasvi. What? How much tapas he has done? Tapas is my Ishvara. So we see a tapasvi, you respect the tapasvi, you respect Ishvara simultaneously. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam viddhi partha sanathanam buddhir buddhimatam asmi tejas tejasvinamaham. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam viddhi partha sanathanam. Aham, hey partha, viddhi, understand what? Sanathanam bijam mam sarva bhutanam. I am the eternal source of everything that is there, including of time and space, therefore Sanatana. Because we have seen this before. Ishvara is the cause of the whole manifestation, creation, all that, Sanatana. Buddhir buddhibatam asmi. See a great scholarly person, intelligent person, high level intelligence. Buddhi buddhimatam asmi. You're not going to get envious of that person. Recognize Ishvara's manifestation there. A special manifestation. There you are. Buddhihi buddhimatam asmi. Tejas tejasvinamaham. Someone is brilliant, highly capable in whatever he is doing. Ishvara. That means what? My brilliance is also Ishvara's. My buddhi is also Ishvara's, okay? Nothing of mine exists. Only Ishvara exists.
So what about the opposite?
Huh?
What about the opposite?
Opposite also is Ishvara. Okay, good question. What about the opposite of all these things? Dharma is Ishvara. What about adharma? Ishvara is nothing but dharma. What is adharma? It is like the shadow side. When you are in the light, all that is there light. When you move away from the light, what happens? You see a shadow. Does it have a reality? So all adharma, all opposites are like that. You are moving away. Here. Yeah. Opposite will be in terms of qualities. Qualities will be in terms of human beings. Correct? So in human beings, opposite is what? You are moving away from dharma. You are moving away from Ishvara. I am becoming adharmic. It is a distortion by my human mind. I have love, which is human, Ishvara. That love is becoming selfishness. That is what happened, is getting distorted by my mind. So I am moving away from the light of Ishvara, from the wisdom into. So my shadow side is what we call adharma. That's why in modern psychology we call it the shadow side. Yeah, because adharma is not opposite of dharma. Not really. It appears like that. It functions like that. But it does not have reality. We don't have hard divisions. Not really. As I said, look at dharma, adharma as the shadow side of yourself. Okay? As moving away from the light that is Ishvara. That's why we all have a shadow side. No? And that shadow side exists in me because cultivated over lifetimes through my ignorance of reality. Through my ignorance of reality, the light of Ishvara does not flow through me because of my ignorance. What is ignorance? Is it a thing? Is it an object? It's not a thing, it's not an object. It has got some sort of existence because it's there in my mind. And because of that, my love becomes selfishness or hate of the opposite of something else. Because I love something, I'll hate the opposite. I can't be inclusive. So all that you call as adharma, negativity, etc., nothing but the shadow side of yours. Cultivated, which has come up because of your sense of finitude. And that finitude exists because of your self-ignorance. If I am ignorant about myself, and neither do I know Ishvara, therefore I take this finite being as myself. Therefore insecurity comes up, desires come up. Natural, human. Yes, they are natural. But they create the shadow side, which is equally natural. That's why if you look at a criminal, you should be thinking, there, but for the grace of God goes I. I would have been like that if God's grace was not there in my life. That's why I always say this, we all have a shadow side. Are we capable of killing? Everyone will say, no, not capable of killing. Yeah. But I always give that example. Someone you love, your daughter, is being attacked by a guy, and there's a nice good stick lying down there. Will you not take it up and whack that guy? May injure him seriously, may kill him also. You're capable of it. Better acknowledge it and integrate it into your personality so that it won't hijack you. Otherwise, in moments like this, it'll hijack you. If I see the same thing happening, my first question is not violence, so I'm capable of it. One punch, enough. One strike, enough. But I won't do that. I'll try to diffuse the situation first. Sama Bheda Dana Dandaha. Only if nothing of these works, I will strike. Why? Because it won't hijack me. You integrate it into yourself. Your capacity for violence, etc. Yeah, we all are capable of it. If you think you are not, you are living a pipe dream. Yeah. You may not know how to use it effectively. That's a different thing. Because like any skill, it has to be learned and integrated. All the dark side should be integrated in yourself. Maybe in some camp or something, I'll do a workshop on this, of integrating your dark side inside. In fact, there is a lady attending the classes here who's very good at that. She does workshops and things like that also on that. Yeah. Since she's feeling a bit hesitant to reveal herself, I'm not revealing her name. But on her Facebook post and all, I see it. Yeah. Yes, Rohil, you had a question.
Just to further refine what I asked you earlier, Swamiji. So, just as we understand now, take a simple example like light and darkness, they don't have any independent definitions of themselves. We know light in the context of darkness, darkness in the context of light.
Not really, but
So
okay.
similarly, can we...
Let us go by the
we
premise for the
understand-
time being. Yeah.
Okay, let's take this premise, let's take this model. So similarly, can we say that we understand or we can appreciate dharma only because we have experienced a dharma?
No. You can understand dharma because dharma is most natural. Do you have to tell a 3-year-old child to speak the truth? The most natural thing to speak the truth. I told you that story, no? Ring the bell. The maid opens the door. The child is peeping out. The mother is asking from inside, who has come? Mama, Dadi wala uncle has come. My bearded uncle has come. Someone used that expression. Now the mother is feeling embarrassed. The child has to be taught social niceties. Bluff. Don't say that. It doesn't have to be taught dharma. Now, children are generally unselfish. But now a child, I experience this with my own nieces. Okay? I was interested in seeing their nieces grow up well with proper value structure, etc. So it was my second one's birthday, younger one's birthday. So I had gone and given her a gift, some toy. I don't remember what toy it was, some toy. And her another friend was also there. She must have been 3-year-old or something. So that other girl extended her hand for the toy. And this kid... So I said, Betty, show it to your friend, no? Share it with her. Let her also play with it. It's mine. I said, yeah, it's yours, but share. Then the elder one, who's 2 years older, 5-year-old, tells me, Mama, she will share it after some time. So I said, oh. There is wisdom in the mouth of children. Why? She's just got that toy. She does not yet feel it is hers. But the moment she feels it is hers, she's willing to share it.
My God.
That 5-year-old kid taught me a lesson in psychology. You can share only what you own. You can change only what you own. So are you seeing this? You don't have to teach a kid all these things. Kid knows. It gets distorted as you grow up because of perceived betrayal, etc. I'm not saying real betrayal, but half the time it's perceived betrayal. So, dharma you recognize. Adharma happens because your finite mind, which experiences a sense of finitude very strongly, distorts dharma. Look at it. Even, Prashant, I'll come to you. Even a criminal, crime is not his first option. Let us say there's a criminal builder. He wants me to agree that my bungalow will be going for redevelopment. He will come and ask me nicely. He will offer me money. He will offer me something extra. And if I refuse all that, he'll start threatening. That means what? What is his first option? Dharma or adharma? He is willing to get it by hook or by crook. But crook is second option. Hook is first option. Are you seeing that? It is natural. Then sometimes what happens is some people, they have got so used to getting the crook part of it that it has become habitual first response. Yeah. This is how dharma works. Habitual first response it becomes. Light and dark, I'll elaborate sometime later, okay, in that part of it. Yeah, Prashant.
Vijay, one question is like you said, adharma is basically moving away from
Ishvara.
the light of dharma, Ishvara. Now, if we say that, then are we like creating like one is Ishvara and the other is not? Like the
No.
even adharma, okay.
Adharma
Even
is
that
also,
is
see, look at the word itself. Adharma is dependent on dharma. No? The word itself is dependent on that. Absence or opposite of dharma is called adharma. You can contextually use it both ways. Yeah. So that's how it is. Without dharma, there is no idea of adharma also. No? Supposing there were no rules. Let us say there were no rules of driving. Left side, right side, etc. There were no rules. Is there something like right and wrong in driving? But because now there is a rule, you can say that is wrong. No? Yeah. So there is an order in the universe. That order in the universe is called dharma. That is Ishvara's manifestation. When you abuse that, when you distort that, then you get adharma. When you move away from that, you get adharma.
But the ability for me to move away or the choice
The
that I
choice
have,
is given
that
to
is
human
all-
being. Yeah.
that
The
is
choice is given to human being because why do you have a human life? You have a human life because you have to evolve into understanding what moksha is about. That requires freedom of choice. So without freedom of choice, if I take away your freedom of choice, you are not going to grow towards moksha. I can create an obedient society by taking away freedom of choice. Then also there will be sparks of rebellion. Like communism. We saw that. We saw communism grow in our lifetimes. We are seeing it fall in our lifetimes. The communist political system hardly exists. Like I know a 17-year-old girl who escaped her country because it was under communism. What courage it must have taken to do that. Okay. So, I can get an obedient society. Because of course there will be rebellion here and there. Because freedom of choice is still there. And because freedom of choice is given totally, I can abuse it as well. Therefore, it takes some learning and wisdom not to abuse it. Therefore, human beings always need some learning, some wisdom, at least to follow dharma. Minimum. Following dharma does not make me anything great. Following dharma makes me a human being. And here I am using dharma in a limited meaning of universal ethics, etc., universal principles. I am not talking about life hereafter, etc., for the time being. Universal principles, including your scientific principles, etc. That's also manifestation of dharma for us. So that's where it is. It can be abused. But then generally you find when you abuse your freedom of choice, you lose it. A criminal who keeps abusing freedom of choice is locked up. He has lost a lot of his freedom of choice. So that's why it takes wisdom not to abuse it. Yeah. Some learning, some this thing has to come in.
So Vijay,
Yeah. Yeah, tell me.
I have one more question, Swamiji. Like the way Ishvara is presented from say 7th chapter onwards, this seems very obvious and very naturally easily understandable.
Correct.
But why in our society at least, like this, Ishvara is never presented this way as a starting point, but it is more like photos and temples. And it's very personalized. Yes, initial days it was all fine, but this seems to be more easily imbibable than.
Yeah, that's because India was brought up with an overdose of secularism. All this was removed from our society. It is not just the education system. We all grew up brainwashed. Thanks to Macaulay. We all grew up brainwashed. We all grew up isolated from our own culture and heritage. Because it's not available in public space. Our culture and heritage is not available in public space. Therefore, it shrunk into orthodoxy and just preserving some things. It preserved, so somebody can explain it. Like, look at what Vyasa has done by writing the Mahabharata. Mahabharata was not an ordinary war. It was an end of a civilization. It is literally the end of a civilization. End of a yuga. The Treta Yuga ended there. Sorry, Dwapara ended there. The Treta ended. And then Kali started. So it was the end of a yuga, end of a civilization. Vyasa ensured that the highest of this knowledge, the cultural heritage, the wisdom will pass on by writing the Mahabharata. He is the actual hero of Mahabharata. If you really look at one hero, it was not Arjuna or Bhima or someone. It was Vyasa who ensured this. He wrote about his own grandchildren fighting and killing each other. Can you imagine if your two children are fighting like that? How will you feel? Ordinary fight you don't feel happy about. No? How many fathers or mothers will say, children fighting? Natural, let them break each other's heads, it's okay. Will you say that or will you stop the fight? And here Vyasa is saying, Dhritarashtra and Pandu are both his kids. So Kauravas and Pandavas are his grandchildren. And they're going to fight and kill and destroy each other. And here is the old man sitting. Okay. Bhishma and Vyasa were roughly same age. Okay. 125 years old. Writing, recording everything that happened, putting dharma, everything into it. Putting the Gita into it. Not one Gita, there are so many Gitas into that. Main is the Bhagavad Gita. All that ensured the civilizational survival. Yeah. Huge book. Then again seems to go into dumps because of foreign rule for the last few hundred years. And now it's flowering up again. It's available for all of us. Pass it on to your kids, minimum. And the kids you know. Yeah. Pass it on to your kids and the kids you know. Once our ashram etc. comes up, We'll have camps for kids, we'll have camps for teenagers, we'll have everything going. Where we'll teach them to be competent human beings, capable of being employed, not unemployed like our graduates are. Capable of being employed with this heritage in the background also. Both will come into it. Yeah. There was a time when I was known as a trainer in the industry, and my kids are gone and said, Samji, we have done 3 years of training on all these topics under. That time I was known as Acharya Ramon. As Acharya Ramon, they were hired, given jobs straight away. When they looked at the topics itself, they knew, my God, if you have studied all this, right from self-esteem to communication to handling emotions to team building, you're employable right away. Soft skills are taken care of. So we create youngsters like that. 2 years to start that project. Right now I'm doing it, but only for locals in Bombay. Locals in Chembur actually. Okay. Yeah. Through the Dawn Club. Rishikesh is a product of that. In a camp environment, it will be even more effective. We'll do that. So, all this knowledge will come back. Right now, let us study it, at least for ourselves. Okay. Okay, Tejas Namaham. Not only that. Balam balavatam chaham kamaraga vivarjitam dharma aviruddho bhuteshu kamosi bharatarashavaha. Balam balavatam asmi. Strong man, world strong man. Strongest man in the world, etc. Manifestation of Ishvara there. Why? There's something special about him. Yeah. Something special. Balam Balavata. I knew this kid, this girl. She weighed 48 kilos. And she would do squats with 75 kilos. I said, wow. Then it grew up to 80 kilos. So almost twice her weight, she's doing squats with. Yeah, she's put in a lot of work, but that special thing. I recognize Ishvara when you see something like that. So don't just see a pretty girl, okay? Pretty girl is first perception. I understand. We are men. Okay. Yeah. I can understand that. But see some plus. Okay. Okay. Miss World, if she's beautiful, or Miss Universe, whatever. See the beauty. See also Ishvara. Hey, there's some grace. That's Ishvara manifests there. Yeah. Balam Balavatam Chaham.
This is what you call
Which is it?
Vibhuti, is it?
Kama Raga Vivarjitam, he says. Hey, the shadows say Kama Raga, etc. Vivarjitam. Free from that. Huh? You are appreciating of the beauty that is there. Yeah. Though Kama Raga, etc. are natural. Yeah.
So is that what you call as Vibhuti?
Huh?
Is that what you call Vibhuti?
Yeah, as a devotee, you're a natural devotee here.
No, Vibhuti.
Vibhuti of Ishvara. Yeah, that will come even later, even more detailed. This is only a jhalak, like a trailer. Picture abhi baki hai, 11th chapter, 10th chapter.
Swamiji,
Yeah.
why is Kamarag Virjitam associated
Because-
with Balam? Likely to be there.
Yeah, because Balam can come out of hatred, this, that, etc. Since we are not talking about that. Because the hatred, etc. is the shadow side, remember? You integrated that into the light, into yourself. So now, without that, you're having this, the strength is there.
Yeah,
You know-
but here the word uses Dvesh, not Dvesha, Kamaraga.
Yeah. See, Kama Raga is a more general term used. Okay? Raga. Because we associate anger with strength. It is not. If you ever entered the ring, an angry man doesn't get it. He gets beaten to a pulp within the first round itself. Yeah. The balam should be clear, centered. Then you use the strength, you are highly effective. Kamaraga, the strength of a warrior like Arjuna. Problem Vyasa is sitting and talking about it, keeping these people, warriors in view. Balam kamaraga gorjatam. Then he says further, Bhuteshu dharma avirada kamosi he brata Rishabha. That kama that is there in human beings, that's also me. But guided by dharma. I am the desire in human beings, he says. Why? Because only human beings can desire, no? I always say this. A cow does not get up in the morning and thinks, shall I have an omelette or a cutlet today? But a human being can. What is for breakfast? Oats or poha? A cow cannot have the desire. Only human being can have a desire. A cow will not desire another cow or a bull unless it's in season. But human beings can desire 24/7, 360 into 365. But dharma avirada, nothing wrong. You know, it's important to understand this because culturally we have started looking at desire as something sinful, as something not correct, as something not spiritual. I told you of the train journey, remember? We used to go to Kerala by train, my hometown. And those days it was the train going was Chennai Express. That time it was called Madras Express. And the Shiv Sena would derivatively call it as Stenographers Express. Because all stenographers from Chennai will come and get jobs in Bombay and the local youth will not get jobs. Local youth will not get jobs because they didn't study stenography. If they study, they would have got jobs. Now stenography is out now. Nobody uses the stenographers anymore. With the invention of the laptop, all the jobs are gone. But anyway, shorthand. I'm sure half the people here does not even know what shorthand is. Shorthand was a form of writing where you could take a dictation fast because some words were replaced by some symbols. Anyway, that apart. And this Chennai Express, when you leave from Bombay, you will go through Andhra, Kadapa in the hottest times. The time there will be the hottest peak summer time, May. And I remember these families come. And these guys will come with cold drinks. No refrigerated box and things like that those days. Those side, all the bottles were kept in a bucket full of ice. They would come around. And as kids, all the kids would say, Daddy, Daddy cold drink, Daddy cold drink, Daddy cold drink. And Daddy would give everyone cold drink. Then he'll ask his wife, would you like one? And that lady cannot even say, I want one. She counter questions. Will it be cold? It's lying in a bed of ice, surrounded by ice, ice below, ice on top, everywhere ice. How will it not be cold? But she can't say, I want one. Because middle class upbringing, to say I want is wrong. Nothing wrong. Desire is not a sin. Desire is human. Yeah. But the men were smart those days, more empathetic. Say, of course it'll be cold. Here, take one. And she'll happily drink it. So many of us have grown up with this, attitude that, it's getting into hyper consumerism, true. But we have grown up thinking that it is wrong. Supposing an economist were come and present a paper saying how consumerism will help develop the society, people will be uncomfortable about it even today, no? It is a wild consumerism that creates a problem. A healthy consumerism is not a problem. Healthy consumerism is good for the society. When it goes out of control, it becomes wild and it gets into wastage, etc., then the problem comes up. When it gets to abuse, then the problem comes up. That's why he says, dharma aviruddha kamaha. Consume what you need, but don't abuse it, don't waste it. There are people who can't afford it. Share it with them instead of wasting it. You see a cultural concept of dharma aviruddha kamaha can be developed into an economic policy out of it actually, if you think enough. And this was the basis of a social structure once upon a time. We grew with the principle that there is enough for everyone's need, but there may not be enough for one person's greed. Even karma, etc. Yeah. People talk as though your living relationships, etc., is something new. It's not new. In Vedic times, in Satya Yuga, it was included as a form of marriage with the partners and any child brought out of that relationship having rights in the society. It is called Gandharva marriage. So what is new? There was a certain structure which protected everyone. Dharma aviruddha kamaha. A social structure can go, an economic structure can go. So many things can grow out of it. If you think. Therefore, he says that karma that comes with in harmony with dharma is me, Ishvara. You don't have to feel guilty about it. It's me, my manifestation. Yeah, Rishikesh.
Just a quick one, Swamiji. Dharma versus enforcement of dharma. So a law versus a law enforcement agency. So in our Shastra, is there a is there an enforcement of the dharma or
Yes.
is it just dharma?
No. Dharma sometimes, see, dharma is the eternal principle. This will manifest in a society as some sort of codes, rules, regulations, etc., depending upon the social conditions. And they will have to be enforced because there will always be people who will abuse it. So it was part of the ruler's job to enforce it. So the enforcement of rules and regulations are part of the this thing. Keeping in mind that he says dharma is not absolute, it is subject to desha, kala, avastha, etc. Time, space, conditions, circumstances, age. It's all, keeping in all of this, you have to look at dharma. It's not absolute, it's a relative thing. So it was there. And our justice system, now to digress slightly, our justice system was based on restoring balance. Dharma ensured balance, adharma disturbed the balance. So you restore the balance. It was not simple crime and punishment. Crime and punishment, then the laws evolved so that then I had, even in the criminal has a right of defense. Then the lawyer can do anything to get him out of his, out of that thing, even if he is a criminal. Whereas the olden system was maintaining balance. So if he was not looked upon as totally a criminal, he was given a chance to restore the balance. Unless it was a crime that could not be excused. The balance was not restorable. He's gone and killed somebody. How are you going to restore the balance?
This is on the social or
Yeah.
Material
Correct.
side. From a Ishvara's standpoint,
Same thing. It's Ishvara manifests in the society.
Also sort of there is a mechanism which will
Yeah, there is a mechanism, na? Like,
punish the adharmi.
correct. Karma phala. There is where the law of karma comes into it. Karma phala gets you in Ishvara's order. Ishvara's order, nature functions. You abuse nature, global warming will happen. Nature will re-establish the balance. Global warming, melting of the ice caps, ice age again. Half the human beings will be wiped out and fresh civilization will start again. Yeah, so there is always balance maintained. Balance is always towards dharma. Though at certain moments it looks like there is more adharma. Yeah. And that is also dharma coming in as a law of entropy. A system will lose its energy and go into disorder unless restored by some external force. So that's the principle of entropy, which is actually a principle from thermodynamics, but applied to a living setup. So this will always work. There's always some balance coming in. Nature makes this balance. Nature is what but manifestation of Ishvara. You and I who abuse also manifestation of Ishvara. At this level. We are nothing but Ishvara as consciousness, but as functioning. Now we are talking from the functioning standpoint. So think it all over, okay? This has a lot of wisdom in it, not just description. Think about it. Good place to stop. We'll continue this with the next class, okay? And Vedic Wisdom Festival is on 7th Sunday. All the classes, all the links are there. Register for it. It is free of cost in honor of Puja Swamiji. Register for it, and we have some very interesting speakers with topics also, but spread into small bites of 20 minutes each.
But is it? I mean,
7th Sunday.
so last year or the earlier editions were more than one day.
Yeah, now this time because all the same people are working for the Vedic Wisdom Festival as well as for the ashram work. So it gets too much. So we cut down the Vedic Wisdom Festival, keep it going. Once the ashram is ready, we will do it on a grander scale. Now the time, effort, money has to go for the ashram. Yeah. Okay. Good place to stop. Hope that's it.